And then the attack came. Now, the day before, I had been asked if I was going to be filming, documenting, or would I be willing to act in defense of the ship. And I said, well, yeah, I will absolutely. I'll be part of the defending of the ship. I mean, I have some capability, and I looked at the mission like this was not really the ship that we're protecting, but the people of Gaza. That's who we're protecting. By protecting the ship, we're protecting the people of Gaza. We're protecting 800,000 plus children. So if anyone attacks this ship, they're attacking those children. So of course I will help to defend it. And I can tell you that we were told, there would be no knives used, don't use knives. But when it came to the bars being cut and whatnot, and people using bars, yep, that was done, and that's what it was. So I was one of the defenders, and we were assigned to different areas of the ship in 6-person teams. As it turns out, because I have military experience and whatnot, I was made second in command of our 6-person team, so if anything happened to the leader, then I would take control of our 6-person team. And at first they came at the sides from the boats, and within the first 5 minutes I saw the first dead body, which was the photographer, the man who was shot right dead square. As he was taking a picture of one of the helicopters, obviously one of the snipers had fired and hit him right dead square. Within the first 5 minutes, before I had had any contact with any of the commandos who came down on the ship, before any of them had come down, I saw this man. And I didn't actually see the gunshot when I first saw him lying down. And I immediately got down and started to take his pulse, and somebody pointed to his head, and I saw the bullet wound in his head and realized this man is well dead. So, said a moment or two of love and respect to him and moved on. Went up to the top. I was actually in the back of the ship. I went up to the top, and basically abandoned my post. I told the guy in charge, I'm going to go up there because there's obviously a bit of a problem with that helicopter. I got up there, and it was like fate, to be honest with you. The first commando, as I came up, literally fell down from the top deck right in front of me. And the first thing I saw when he fell down was he had a 9mm pistol. That was the first thing I went for. I went for that pistol right away, which was strapped in. And me and another brother were on top of him. Didn't have to do anything other than grab that pistol, unstrap it, pull it off him. And then the brothers took him inside. I had that pistol in my hand for a good 5 minutes. I was holding it in this position here, not knowing what to do with it. The way I saw it, this was evidence, for one thing, so I didn't want to throw it in the sea. I thought there must be a place where we keep the weapons and, figure out what to do with them later. And I didn't know who to hand it off to. So I walked around the ship, from the top of the ship, back to the back of the ship, back up to the other side, top, back to the back of the ship, back up to the bridge, to the captain. I actually poked my door into the head to the bridge and said to the captain, "Are we keeping weapons somewhere?" He said, "Get that thing out of here." Took the weapon back to the back of the ship. At that point, because no one knew what to do with it, and I was telling people, they're killing people, verifying, look, they're killing people. I took all the rounds out of the gun, sorry. They were live rounds, they were proper rounds. I took those bullets, I handed them over to a couple of people, and then I took the weapon and I hit it. As soon as I did that, I came back up to the top of the ship, and another commando fell out of the sky, same thing, right in front of me. And this one had a submachine gun, and he was much more alert than the first one, and he was fighting. And he was desperately trying to get his hand on that weapon and start firing. And I immediately went for his arms, and another brother was trying to control him, hold him down, and get the weapon off him, and I was grabbing his arms. And eventually we managed to get that submachine gun off him. He took the submachine gun, and that commando was taken inside. So those were the two commandos. Now I could have been anywhere on that ship, and I could have come a second or two later, and the first commando may have gotten to that weapon, and the second one might have gotten to the submachine gun, and I'd be dead right now. The fact that I ran around that ship for 5 minutes with a 9mm pistol in my hand, with snipers on helicopters, killing people, and not getting shot myself, I don't know. The only thing that I can guess at is that I'm white, and they really had orders like, don't kill white people. Otherwise, I'm extremely lucky. Really, in retrospect, it was crazy that I would be running around a ship with that weapon.